Is it on? Is it on? Yeah, I got it.
Hi,
Hello there.
I'm Sandy Lackawater.
And I'm Sahara Dune.
We've traveled way out here to this pocket desert in BC.
But sheesh, Sandy, it's cold here. I thought deserts were supposed to be hot.
Well, actually, did you know not all deserts are hot? Because of the low humidity, they heat up rapidly during the day and cool off very quickly in the evening. Not to mention, some biomes that are classified as deserts never reach above 0 degrees Celsius, such as Antarctica.
Wow.
Did you know that biomes are classified as deserts if they receive less than 250 millimeters of annual precipitation? Another way of thinking of a desert is if more moisture is evaporated than deposited.
Ow! God.
Are you okay, man?
No.
Dude, shut it off. Deserts are usually located on the leeward side of mountains or in rain shadows. They often occur near cold ocean currents. This is caused because the cold ocean currents cause the moisture in the wind to be deposited before it reaches deep inland. Now that I've taught you about deserts and why they exist, I'm going to pass you over to Sahara, who will explain what happens inside a desert. I hope this presentation hasn't been too dry for you.
Because there's a lack of running water in deserts for most of the year, the majority of erosion is caused by the wind. The sand is very susceptible to this wind action because there isn't much vegetation to hold the sand in place. Most erosion is in the form of saltation, as the wind bounces and drags the sand across the desert landscape. Now sometimes this sand can come to an obstruction, such as a boulder. In this case, the sand will collect around it and build up into a mound called a sand dune. In a process known as dune migration, the sand builds up along the leeward side of the dune. This is because the wind's velocity decreases when it hits the mound and deposits its sediment. So in dune migration, the dune continuously encroaches upon new territory. As a result of winter rains, yellow sunflowers and white dune night primrose can grow all over the sand dune. And additionally, there are many varieties of shrubs, such as mesquite and desert buckwheat, that grow because of their deep-reaching roots. Now, there are 4 types of desert sand dunes. The first type is the transverse dune. Now, transverse dunes are a continuous ridge that form at right angles to the wind. The second type of dune is the Barcan dune. A Barcan dune is crescent-shaped, and it has horns that point downwind, so the wind direction is heading this way. Now, parabolic dunes look exactly like the Barcan dune, except the horns actually point upwind, so the wind is going this way. This is because there's vegetation that anchors the horns in place. Now, the fourth type of dune is the longitudinal dune. This is a straight and long dune that forms parallel to wind direction.
Cool! Are there any other landforms in deserts aside from dunes?
Don't even go there. There are so many types of landforms, too many to list for this instructional video, but I have a few favorites I want to show you. This is a wadis. A wadis is a deep channel in the desert where water flows during flash floods. The water flows to a depression in the desert surface. These depressions form temporary lakes called playa lakes.
Water. Water.
Hey, over here, buddy. Another desert formation is an eroded section of the plateau known as a mesa. Now, these mesas can further be eroded into smaller segments like this, and each one is known as a butte.
That's awesome, Sahara! Now we're going to pass you over to our good friend Cactus.
He couldn't be with us today, He deserted us.
Over to you, Cactus, you prick.
Thanks, Sandy, you dried up shrimp. Anyways, you ever look at the great big sand oceans of Tatooine and wonder, what's the specific weird sounding scientific name of that thing? Well, look no further, 'cause I have the answer. These vast sand seas are called ergs. They migrate in the direction of the wind and often are difficult to stabilize even with extensive plants and vegetation. These ergs are not to be mistaken with these ergs. Anyways, the sand that flies around as it's carried by the wind is called loess, or loess, or whatever the hell it is, and is commonly found on leeward sides of great deserts where the wind isn't as strong. These deposits are very fertile and make for great soil. Anyways, thanks for joining me here in my own room, where it's not cold and sandy like a desert. Sucks to be you, Sandy.